Hi guys, welcome to Connecting 101.live Mastermind Course on mental health. So in this course, I'm going to challenge you to ask a very simple question to yourself. Is your mind full or are you mindful? And which one do you consciously choose to yourself, to your life? So hi again, I'm Alexandra Duque. I'm an Integrative Clinical Psychologist, and this course, some form of this was actually in my mind for years and years, probably since I was a teenager, and I didn't have the tools that I have today. The way that this program is designed based on my clinical experience, but it's also based on my life path. A life path that went from a very insecure, slightly depressed teenager girl into a woman that every day empowers herself in some way or another. And the best way that I have to empower myself is to be every single day with my clients. Because what I do is healing, but the healing does not come from me. I empower people to heal themselves. That's the core nature of my work. And that's actually what I'm proposing to you in this course. And this course will cover basic mental health knowledge about what builds your mental health. How does your connection between mind and body work? How does your conscious mind interact with your subconscious mind? And all these concepts, we are going to break them down and make them easy for you to absorb. Because so many times we get lost in the translation when clinicians or academia talked about all these odd concepts. So the idea is not for you to just understand the theory or the rationale of it. It's to apply all that knowledge to yourself, to your life, and to build gradually your optimal mental health. So we're going to cover topics like trauma. How does trauma develop in our mind? Does it shape our brains? And how does it transform the person that we deeply are inside? And in order to do that, I'm going to propose one module that might seem a bit odd in a mental health training course, and it's a model about storytelling. And this module is actually one of the foundational pieces of this course. Because what I'm proposing is for all of us to transform the stories that we tell ourselves about ourselves. So for instance, one of the assignments, one of the homeworks I'm going to give you, it's to write your story. To write down a short bio of who you are and how you became the person that you are today. And throughout the course, I'm going to help you transform that story. I'm going to inspire you to transform that story. I'm going to give you the tools to transform that story. For us together to really unlock the person that you are, really inside, and your craving to show to the world. We're going to cover topics on how to build your resilience, how to develop the skills, the emotional intelligence skills to really be more conscious in your life, and how you connect with yourself and with other people. And that's another foundational piece of our mental health. How do we connect to ourselves, to our emotions? How aware are we? And then how do we take that to the other person? How do we empathize with others, with ourselves, with the world? How do we talk to ourselves? And how do we talk and communicate in general with other people? And all of this I'm going to bring you in an 18-week training. And this training has 9 mastermind sessions with me, where we're going to cover all the ins and outs of the mental health program. But then, in the off weeks, you'll be given assignments for you to prepare for the next mastermind, for you to continue your path throughout this training, for you to keep in touch with yourself and with me and with your peer group on the mastermind, because that's really the power of a mastermind. It's not me, I'm just facilitating the training. It's the peer group. It's the interaction with other people that speak the same language as you. And one of my core beliefs as a clinical psychologist is that the foundation for an optimal mental health is self-awareness. This is a very core skill that we need to develop to connect with ourselves. But self-awareness is not enough. Self-acceptance is then another piece. Because there's a lot of times that we're very aware of our emotional world, but we're struggling with it, and we're pushing all those emotions away. And in a nutshell, they come back to haunt us. So the acceptance that it's sometimes okay not to be okay, it's hugely important to build an optimal mental health. But again, it's not enough. So what comes after the self-awareness, what comes after the acceptance, is what are your beliefs about yourself? Again, the story that you tell yourself. And if you're aware of this story, you have the power to transform it. But it's not yet the end. Those stories are deeply rooted in traumas that we all have in our lives. And we can be talking, of course, about huge traumas. But we're also talking about those small traumas. That feeling of rejection that you got when you were so small that you can even not recall correctly. That small feeling of rejection that you felt when you were 4 or 5 or 6 years old. And it's not even a conscious memory, but that moment set a baseline belief that you're not enough, or that you're not worth it, or whatever comes after that. So when we are conscious of the stories that we tell ourselves, we have this power to transform them, to confront them, but also to empathize with them, to understand them. And that empathy, that understanding, is actually what makes it possible for us to change it. But again, not enough yet. The road to achieve optimal mental health is not a given. It's something that we need to work on. So after the awareness, after the acceptance and the empathy about transforming, understanding and transforming our own stories, there's a big piece, which is, what's my mission? What's my purpose in life? How do I really, really feel fulfilled in life? And the final chapter of all our stories is our why. And that why, backed with the awareness, the acceptance, and the shaping of the story, is the cherry on top of the cake for us to achieve an optimal mental health. And with saying this, I'm not saying at all that if we have optimal mental health, we're not experimenting difficult emotions. Not at all. Difficult emotions are part of life. Life strikes us every so often with a big challenge. And I'm not different from all of you. I have my challenges in life. And from all of them, sometimes consciously, other times not so consciously, the way that I overcame them was by growing. Growing as a person, as a woman, growing as a mom, growing as a daughter, growing as a wife, growing as a friend. But then, when I actually was conscious of that growth process, what I can share with you is that, first of all, is way, way faster, the growth and the recovery from those curveballs that life sends our way. And more than that, when you're conscious of this process, you're empowering yourself to change. You're empowering yourself to heal. You're empowering yourself to transform your life. So in the end of this training, what I'm challenging to achieve is to unlock your true self with a clear purpose in life, and empowering yourself to heal, not just throughout this 18 weeks, but throughout your whole life. This is the change I'm proposing, and if you share with me this vision of growth, healing, and empowerment, just join me on the course on a button around here somewhere, and I'll see you soon. And until then, don't forget to live an amazing life. Your amazing life.